What you need to know prior to Election Day. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Judith Franlin. She's a past president of the League of Women Voters of Bucks County and a partner to the Bucks County Women's Advocacy Coalition. Thanks so much for being with us.
Glad to be here.
You say it's important for all of us who are eligible to vote to think about voting.
Absolutely, and we like to put it this way: if you are an eligible citizen, you should be registered. If you're registered, you should be informed. And when you're informed, you should vote in every election.
And that's part of the role of what you are working to do, is to inform people on candidates and issues. And at this point, people do need to be registered for this upcoming election on November 6th. But we can check our registration status and polling locations on a website. It's votespa.com.
That's correct. You can see your polling place there, which is very important. And we, of course, urge people to make a plan to vote. Look at your calendar for November 6th, Tuesday, and make sure that you have time to vote. Set it on your calendar, put your time on there, and then follow through.
And you say that's important. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. But let's talk a little bit about what we need to know. If we can't get to the polls on Election Day, we can still apply for an absentee ballot.
That's correct. The deadline to apply for absentee ballot is October 30th. It's the Tuesday. No, I'm sorry. Yes, it's just before the election day, the 1 week before the election. On November 2nd, that absentee ballot has to be at the Board of Elections.
And that's an important deadline as well, because you do have to have that absentee ballot in prior to Election Day.
Absolutely. The Board of Elections will send your absentee ballot to the precinct where you are registered to vote, and those votes will be opened and counted that night, on election night. And there's also a listing of people who have provided absentee ballots at the poll, and therefore they can be challenged if, for example, someone's wheeling around in the grocery store when they are away. In Pennsylvania, there is a requirement that you either have to be away from the polling place or ill, for example, in order to use an absentee ballot.
Important information. And what happens after November 2nd if you have a reason to keep you from the polls? Can you still vote?
There is an emergency process. You can vote. It requires some information with the judicial process in order to make that happen, but it can be done. You should never avoid voting if at all possible.
Important information, and that website is votespa.com if people do want to check the registration status or find out more information about their polling location. And you want to remind people that November 6th is Election Day.
Absolutely. That is the day. And polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We urge everyone to make a plan to vote. Roughly in 2016, about 56% of eligible voters voted, which is not really a good showing. Some of them are never registered and others just didn't vote. So we really want to make that a better showing for our voters and for our citizens.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking with Judith Franlin. I'm Jill Horner.